Before we get into the gluing process, I wanted to just show, well, one, kind of what the end result looked like on two different approaches here. This is our bar top table in the basement. Again, same 2x4, we're going to be using the same stain and finish, but this one was set up kind of like a park bench, so there was an attempt to I guess make these look more natural, uneven, that sort of thing. There's a lot of polyurethane on this. We're going to be putting, obviously, like drinkware, stuff like that on it. But you can see sort of the way that this works. This has gaps in it, and that was kind of the intent. But where the countertop was, just to show you the difference here, behind the bar top, we've got this little area that's completely unfinished at this current time. But at least the countertop is in. And then this is going to be, like I said, more of that approach of making things as smooth and consistent as possible when we get to gluing. So this is what I'm going to be going for, of course. It's just some combination of the two. This is really nice, I think, for a countertop or even a tabletop if you're looking at trying to finish it. But for something like shelves, this may be a little bit too much work. But I did just want to show the difference between the two. Like I said, this is kind of the shelving finish we want to have to it. When it comes to putting these up on the top here, we're gonna, like I said, just do some floating shelves. But I wanted to show you the after of what this looked like before we started gluing, just to give you an idea of where we're trying to go with the preparation for sanding, getting things glued and all that. So after the first pass of kind of just going through everything, now's the time we're really gonna kind of just take a step back, look at all of the lines that we have, make sure everything's lined up correctly, and just kind of, I guess, check your work. I like to do this before I start preparing the glue for any type of wood. This is kind of that time where, in this case, I'm making shelves, but if you were doing a tabletop, I'd want to put the planks together and just kind of see how they line up, make sure everything is tight. If you've got some extra hairline crack somewhere you need to smooth out, or you've got some blemish, whatever that may be, really now's the time to do that extra work that you might have missed when you did your initial pass, just kind of sanding and prepping everything. So a lot of wood you don't have to do this with if it's been planed correctly or it's been done right, but this is 2x4. There's a lot of flaws, so I'm just taking time to make sure that everything's tight, everything's smooth. I'm also looking at the wood too, just to make sure that if there's any type of I guess not favorable types of knots or grain, whatever that may be. If there's a piece that just doesn't look that nice or pretty, you can really start to just put them into a place that may not be something that somebody sees. So if it's a table, you want to make that side of the board the bottom, and you want people to see, some type of knot or grain design. Now's the time to do that too. I like to just mentally note where I want places of this, each plank to be at. So I'm just going to go through, make sure everything's tight, looks good, but checking your work here, and we're ready to glue. I normally use my finger for this kind of stuff, but I really don't want any type of excess glue to come through when I start to clamp them together. I think this is probably the best way to do it, at least that I've had the most success with. But the second thing is going to be even pressure. These are 2x4s, and they are, as much as I tried to make them as uniform as possible, planing and then sanding everything, there's going to be flaws. So close there. You can use a damp sponge to remove any excess. So that is good. I can tell that this first board here is getting close to forming that skin. There's definitely some overlap there. That's okay. We'll get that in a second. And now it's time to hurt. As I said, fun 3. It does not mess around. So I've got everything mocked up here. You can probably see I have some a little bit of lift on this side in the back here, but I always like to get things as smooth as possible before I start putting things together. in terms of clamping each piece together. So I am going to clean up some of the surface area on each side here before I put any load on the sides of each. So the art here, in my mind, is to get as small amount of pressure as you can at least in the center, and then once you start to see on both ends of these boards, you'll start to see them close together. These are the small shelves, little hairline there, but looking okay. I am just gonna go through, make sure we are good everywhere, that at least I can clean up when it comes to excess glue. Yeah, pretty bad, as expected.